All right. Third Wheel Podcast, guys. I guess I'm at a loss for words as you know, our normal shtick is like super excited and happy. And, I'm usually an excited and happy guy, but it's a heavier topic we're kind of starting off with before we kind of get to the lighter stuff.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, last week, today's Monday, and it was last Tuesday or Wednesday?
Feels like it's been about a week, yeah. So
Yeah. I can't remember if it was
I
Tuesday
think
or
it was
Wednesday.
a Tuesday.
And it was just
My bad. No, it was Wednesday. My bad.
yeah, because I remember going to serve students and go to church, and I was there working with kids, and it was just like weighing on me and making me sad. But I was also just, I had to work with the students. I guess before we actually get started, though, this episode, I guess, will have a lot of political opinions, and we've hinted at it on the show before, but me and Chaps here are pretty conservative leaning. So if you don't want to hear it, then we'll just see you next week. I'm not one of those people that enjoys pissing people off all the time. Sometimes I do, but not in this. I don't see a reason to add to the divide. So if you don't want to hear a conservative view on the Charlie Kirk situation, then we'll see you next week. I'm not gonna tell you to unsubscribe. I'm not gonna tell you to never listen again because I like hearing y'all. So we'll just see you next time. But Charlie Kirk was assassinated last Wednesday, and it was sad. It was very sad. It weighed on me. I didn't finish my shorts for last week because I was just like, it feels wrong to try to make funny shorts while someone had just died, and it's like a national thing. And I don't know. I was bummed out, but what do you think?
I think, got more sad the later on, like especially on that day.
Yeah.
And then like the next day is when it really hit, kind of like what just happened. Because like someone came in my office and said what happened, and it didn't register because I actually wasn't that familiar with him.
Yeah.
It just didn't register, and then like unfortunately, I ended up seeing the video.
That was my
which
question.
I'm actually glad and not glad I saw it.
Yeah.
I think it's good to know that real things happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's also just like, that's horrifying. And
Yeah.
it was like it was a couple hours, I think, before he was pronounced deceased. And it was just kind of like that way, like my heart didn't really know how to feel.
Yeah.
And then like the next day I was like, wow, and I started seeing all the videos about him and realizing like who he was. I'm like, well, I actually do recognize him now.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, like that's a heavy hit. Not just him particularly, but the fact that, I was more devastated by the ability, or just the fact that it happened, that something like that happened.
Yeah.
And we saw this with Trump almost happen. And then, like, I think we let our guard down a little bit, and then it actually happens, you know? And I think that should have been the sign that
this was going to keep going.
We're getting into a dark place, you know? Because then, like, when Trump didn't die, it was like, oh, wow, like, we beat it, we overcame that. And then now that actually happens, and it was a successful attempt. And that's a lot, because then it's like it puts a precedent. It's like, first of all, people need to process on how that even feels. Yeah. And then I knew from the very beginning that, okay, there are going to be people cheering it. I didn't think it would be that many people, but it was, I don't think it's 50-50 by any means, but it's definitely like a larger amount than I expected.
And a very loud amount.
You always think that people are like cheering for something like that to happen, and then when it happens, they kind of realize, oh, wow, that was actually different than what I expected. No, a lot of people are just happy about it, and obviously there's way more people who are devastated by it, me including, but yeah, sets a dangerous precedent on what's to come. Are we to expect more like this? Are people going to be more scared? Are people going to get more violent? Is there going to be a bigger retaliation? I think Charlie Kirk's wife, her words after it, I don't know if you listened to that video, chilling. Her words are inspiring, but also very chilling.
Yeah, I need to give that a watch.
Yeah. And yeah, it was kind of for me to even doing like anything. I felt like I was like, I'm disrespecting, the moment by doing anything else, but just like thinking and mourning that moment.
You know what really pissed me off was not the people celebrating. Like, yes, that was annoying too. Like, obviously it did annoy me, But the people that were just like, oh my gosh, I lost 8 friends on Facebook after saying R.I.P. Charlie Kirk. And I was like, nobody cares about the 8 people that unfriended you. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to see you hop onto Facebook and go, if you support Charlie Kirk, then unfriend me. Nobody wants to see, oh, I said R.I.P. Charlie Kirk and I lost 8 people. Like, nobody cares. It was making the moment about themselves.
Exactly. So, actually, on that, I'm highly critical of both sides, I think.
Yes.
That try to make it a political thing immediately.
Or about themselves.
About themselves or gun reform or crap like that. I'm like, someone died. Like, don't try to make this into an agenda push. Like the day of, not even like weeks and weeks later. No, the day of, you know, or a day later.
Yeah.
And then people started quoting him, you know, out of context quotes about like his view on guns, you know, and just like the day of, like there was no time.
Yeah.
And the more we learned about the shooter, the more it just got worse. I think also what I really didn't like is like there were some left-leaning people on Instagram who would put like paragraphs of how much they hated the person, and then at the very bottom, the very tip, they'd say, but it's an unfortunate loss. You know, it's like, just why can't we all agree that the act is horrible, regardless of who he was or what he stood for? Like, it was terrible. I'd like to think that people on the right would also be devastated if it was someone on the left who died. I don't know. Maybe at this point, I really don't know anymore.
That happened recently, actually.
So. Yeah.
Yeah. The Minnesota governors / senators or whatever that got gunned down by Republicans. That got glossed over by the media. I'm shocked. I'm really shocked that nobody covered that, really. But yeah, no, I mean, that did happen. I'm kind of curious as to why Charlie Kirk kind of got the center spotlight.
I think it was the video. I think it was the fact that so many people saw it, and it hit a lot more. And he's probably a well more known. Just because it's like either you hate him or you love him kind of guy, like kind of like a Steven Crowder. Like everyone most people probably knew the name, and like average person be like, oh, he's a political debater. That's about it. You know, that goes to colleges, just like so many others.
And
but
he didn't do anything wrong. That was the other thing too.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything. Like I mean, don't get me wrong. Like it was horrible that somebody tried to take Trump's life, but at the very least, like I can understand why you feel like that would make a difference, or you felt like you were going toward a cause.
No,
like
this guy was literally just a debater, and not even like a super. From what I've seen, a super aggressive one at that. Genuinely, at the very bottom, like just loved talking and discussing opinions. I don't know I don't know what all his views were.
Yeah.
I hear it's pretty controversial in some areas. I don't care. They all are, right?
Yeah.
But like at the very end, from what I've seen, it just seemed like he truly just loved changing minds. He loved talking. He loved communicating to the youth, which I think is super important. And that's just, he was really young.
Yeah.
Like really young with 2 kids, a wife, like, yeah. Yeah, it wasn't like it was someone who's been in the business for like 40 plus years. It was someone who was trying to make a difference from the ground up and like was on their way to doing something I think really cool, depending on how you view at it, and then just cut short, really quickly. And yeah, who knows like how long it took for him to actually die. Conflicting reports. Some say it was like on the way to the hospital. Some say it was immediate.
If you saw that video, I would have said immediate. Whenever they said he was critical condition, I was like, I don't believe it. I think he was dead before he hit the floor. To be honest with you, like honestly. The amount of blood that just came out immediately, the eyes rolling to the back of the head. I was like, there's just no way. When my mom texted me critical condition, I was like, I don't see it unless there's some medical technology I'm not aware of. But like here's the thing: he wasn't the president. He wasn't a senator, like
Secret Service or anything.
Yeah,
he just had like
he had
regular, regular or
university police.
Yeah,
university police. Nobody's looking for a sniper.
Yeah, it's like
he's there talking.
There's really it's definitely not the Trump thing at all. Because it's like you couldn't really predict or defend this, and that's another scary thing. It's like. They can't just beef up security for every political commentator. It's like, again, I don't think he was a politician in any way, shape, or form. He was just a commentator.
Yeah.
Content creator. Basically like a YouTuber, like a little bit more complex than that, but still like.
Yeah.
And yeah, free speech is just, it's cried out, you know, to justify so many horrid actions, and then it's stomped in the dust, you know,
Yeah.
and like you don't agree with that. It's yeah. And obviously, like, I don't care about the shooter. Like, he had like motivations, but it's like he was like 22, 23.
Yeah.
You know, he had no footprint in the world. You
Yeah.
know, he was just hopped up or crazed from
Yeah.
social media or something. Like, I'm presuming. Like,
And he's
some
not
people were like,
talking-
"Oh, he was a professional." It's like, no, I
He's
think
not talking to police. He's not.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, he's not cooperating. So like, I don't think even you're 22. Like, he doesn't even know what his agenda was.
Sure.
You know, we can only speculate. But I mean, eventually he's gonna talk on camera. Someone's gonna put a microphone in his face and he's gonna spill the whole beans.
Right.
But I am really, really shocked that he lived to face the music in a
Yeah.
way. Because so many people in that position would have kind of just taken their own life, but they got him before he did that.
I'm pretty sure he like was crazy enough to like paint messages on his shell casings. Like
Yeah.
that guy, he was
Yeah.
just knew fully well that this was throwing away your life, one way or another. Like, I don't think he intended on getting away with this, but
Yeah, I don't know, because I kind of think he might have,
really,
because nobody could get good video of him. The footage I saw was, excuse me, AI enhanced, so it wasn't even. I think the only reason we got him is because he confessed to a family member, and that family member turned him in. Which
Yeah.
good for them. I mean, that could not have been easy.
right?
You know, his dad turned him in, which is insane. Yeah, when it first happened, I got real quiet and I started kind of getting sad, but it wasn't until the day after I really kind of just like, man, this is hitting me. You know, the only way I could describe it is like how my mom described JFK getting assassinated, just how quiet and scary it was, and how just like, wow, this is heavy. And what was it? I watched like other people react to it. Like Joe Rogan was in the middle of talking to Charlie Sheen and like live, like this just happened, and they had nothing to say. It was a 10-minute clip. His 10-minute clips are full of talking, commentary, just nonstop. They can't shut up.
Yeah.
But this 10-minute clip of them reacting to Charlie Kirk is like they had just found out, and they both couldn't think of anything to say. They were both like just sitting there.
Yeah.
And it was like 10 solid minutes of like, geez, this like lost for
Right.
words. And I felt the same way. I had trouble talking to people. I couldn't think straight. And of course, you get on Facebook and like I'm already having trouble thinking and trying to think clearly. And you got everybody chiming in with nothing that adds to the conversation. It was either celebrating his death
Right.
or trying to draw attention to themselves because they got blocked by 5 people or whatever. Yeah, political pushing. I mean, Democrats right out the gate were already, oh, this was a crazy one. It wasn't Hakeem Jeffries. It was somebody else. But he said that it was because Republicans pushed defund the police, and that's why. And I was like, there's no way you're pawning that off on us. There's no way that you're going to say Republicans were for defunding the police. But still, it's like you said, you just right. Like, the guy is not even, like, I don't even think rigor mortis was setting in before they just started launching whatever they were trying to do,
Sure.
whatever agenda. So, I mean,
there's so many people just ready at the hip they don't think and process actually what it is that's happening. They're just like, all right, like pull the preset, like pre-written whatever out of the book in case this happens, like, and just run it.
yeah,
Yeah, but it was like you said, like it's not like a presidential assassination. Like, this guy was just a
dude,
regular dude. That we know of, but like 99% chance that this guy was just generally, okay man. Like, yeah, I don't know. Hard to even talk about it more than like other people have, and I think this is one of the few times I've been like actively like just kind of shutting myself off from like, because I don't know what to believe anymore, and there's gonna be so much misinformation thrown out, and I'm just like, I'm done kind of like reading the articles now and the videos. I watched a lot of like the tribute videos and like some of the commentary about it, but other than that, yeah, it's like I don't want to hear that it was a paid assassination or government conspiracy or just like no, like we all know what this is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you're dumb if you think otherwise. Like, this was not a freaking conspiracy. Like, this was just crazed gunmen, like through and through, driven by social media and what we've allowed it to become.
Somebody brought up like Instagram, Facebook, Discord. They're not doing anything about squashing this type of behavior, type of speak.
No, just runs up the traffic, I guess.
Yeah,
on their platforms.
Like they need to shut down these groups because, from my understanding, that guy was in a Discord server where everybody was like, "Okay, here's how you should do it. Here's what all you can do to get away with it." And it's just like, why are we not monitoring those or shutting those down? I'm told Reddit and Discord are the two biggest problems in that aspect. And because like Reddit's done some good, when they crashed the stock market single-handedly, when they, they've done some good stuff, but it's like, but then there's this other part of it where it's just not regulated. And this is where that actual hate speech, that violent speech, that violent rhetoric is thriving and being cultivated and manifesting into these actual physical acts of violence.
Right.
And they're not doing anything. They don't care. They're not trying to moderate. They're not trying to do anything to prevent something like this. And it's insane.
It's kind of interesting to see how all the company, like all these different corporations react, like anywhere from, like shoe products to like video game developers. Where like there's a bunch of like developers on these games that everyone loves that are just going off on Twitter, popping off and celebrating his death. Yeah. And then like they don't do anything about it. But then like DC, I don't know if you saw, but there was a comic.
That's on my list.
Comic list. We can cover that real quick. There was a Red Hood comic line that just got released, first issue, and then like creator, I don't know who the creator is, but went off, said it's probably, like generic celebration crap, and then like they got pulled.
Oh yeah.
Immediately. And then they're actually refunding and contacting comic book shops to return whatever the stock they have. Like I didn't expect that, but like it's good. But it's just like again, it's like a 50-50. It really is like a 50-50. Like this company does that, this person says that, and there's like nowhere like in the middle where it's like we can all just agree, hey, this is horrible, and move on to something. So a way to not prevent this from happening ever again, because how do you do that? But like I think self-reflection is a big thing. Yeah. Like, why did this happen? Like, not how, but like, why did it happen?
Yeah. It's horrible. Well, now that you brought up Red Hood, we can kind of transition into the next topic, which I think will be a lot more lighthearted and a lot more fun. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Prayers to the family. Prayers to America that we heal. And I pray that, one, nobody attacks someone like that again, at least in my lifetime, and that we don't retaliate. Right. I really against kind of killing each other, shooting each other to prove a point, because it doesn't get the point across. Whatever that guy was trying to send as a message, it's not resonating with me. It's not resonating with the general American public. It's not. Yes, you got a few people that are misinformed that think violence is the answer, but that's not the whole of America. You didn't do good, So I really don't want us to retaliate. I really hope we don't have more of these, and I really hope we don't start doing it on our end either. So, I do not condone violence in any way whatsoever. So, anyway, I want to talk about, and I think people will enjoy this in general, people that have tried to speak out and celebrate Charlie Kirk's untimely demise and got fired from their workplace. Yeah. And that's more of my speed, and what this show's more about is talking trash to other people.
Do you want to eat now?
Yes. And we'll go ahead and pause. And we're back to hopefully a lighthearted portion of this episode. Thanks for bearing with us these past 20 minutes. And now, since episode 8, Shaps, we have been very vocal about our disdain for hopping on either Twitter or any social media outlet to say stupid stuff that compromises your position at work.
Yes, episode 8. I remember it well.
We brought up Andrew Garfield. We brought up Josh Trank, who got fired off of a Fant 4 stick. And I even brought up a personal one, this girl at my college who, said that this cop who also was unalived by a criminal She said he had perv eyes, and not only did she get kicked out of school, but she also got arrested. She had tickets, and they had warrants out for her tickets, so they just went ahead and picked her up. So it wasn't an unlawful arrest. It was a very lawful arrest. But, I think she's doing fine now. She's moved on. Her Instagram's on private. That's the first part. And then secondly, now she has kids. She got married. So I think she's doing good. But, the shame, the shame of having to tell your kids, I was dumb when I was younger and I got arrested. Are you familiar with the guy who he was a professor and he told everyone all Trump supporters to jump off a bridge? Are you familiar with him?
I feel like a lot of them have done that.
Yeah, this one was very specific. Let's see. Sorry, I should have pulled this up. I was too busy looking up the episode that we talked about it. All right, here we go. University employee on leave after telling Trump voters jump off a effing bridge. So this happened in November when Trump got elected. This guy, I guess, was just really, really hoping that he's an University of Oregon employee, and he just really thought Kamala was going to win the election, which wasn't going to happen. In fact, it was one of the biggest blowouts in our lifetime, but also in recent memory. I think I would compare it to our version of Ronald Reagan's second election. Are you familiar with the electoral map on that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Essentially, audience, during Reagan's second run, every state was red except for the home state of the guy who was going against. So one blue state. That was the biggest wipeout I've ever seen in my entire, in history. And then we got a very similar taste of what that must have felt like when Trump won a second time. All 7 swing states. So this University of Oregon employee just got on Instagram. And I think it was even set to private, or maybe it wasn't. But basically, a bunch of his students saw a video of him going on and just being like, all Trump supporters should just jump off an effing bridge. And, if you can't afford to live, I don't care. Just, unalive yourself. And he got placed on administrative leave immediately. And it was hilarious. And it's like, I just don't get it. How do people just not learn to keep their mouth shut when it comes to stuff like that? Like, you can get on and rant about, I'm upset my candidate lost, but you just tell people to kill themselves. What do you expect's going to happen?
Regular people.
Yeah. Yeah, you voted for him.
Your students probably.
More than half the country, if you voted for him, just jump off a bridge, and it's, and so he got placed on administrative leave, but then they fired him a month later. I mean, that's a very short investigation.
Right.
I'm surprised more people haven't said, "Oh, sorry, this is AI." And it's like, oh, that wasn't me. That was somebody, I feel like people can lean on that more now than ever. Even with the Charlie Kirk video we saw that you and I both saw at a separate time, because we weren't huddled together watching this stuff. But, people are even asking, is this fake? Is this AI or is this real? It's a real concern.
I think when you're accused of something like that, you would have to admit you're wrong for saying that. And a lot of these people have an ego. I mean, again, he's a professor, figures he has a platform, kind of an untouchable vibe, probably. It's like, why would you admit what you said, was wrong, because that's even a bigger embarrassment. So
God forbid we take back something that we said.
Right.
Maybe I should give Rachel Ziegler some props in that she, backtracked her Palestinian comments during the promotion of Snow White.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I doubt she actually wrote that, but hey, maybe we could give her some credit.
Big steps.
But anyway, I got receipts from more people that also did some dumb stuff. So the one you brought up was actually named Gretchen Felker Martin, a trans author of the Red Hood #1. She was writing the Red Hood series, and let's see. I got the article.
Is this his first comic book series?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because that's a very generic name.
Let's see. Coming from the them.us story. It's a website very leaning toward her situation. Let's see. DC Comics has canceled trans writer Gretchen Felker Martin's Red Hood comic book series after one issue following her blue sky comments about Charlie Kirk's death. Philippa Martin is best known for her 2022 post-apocalyptic novel Manhunt. So no, not her first one. Which follows an ensemble of trans characters navigating a world in which testosterone turns people into zombie-like creatures.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, I actually didn't know that. Although the author has since deactivated her Blue Sky account, screenshots of her post began circulating. Who uses Blue Sky? Isn't that the knockoff Twitter for, people that are big on free speech? That's like the Twitter ripoff, isn't it?
I've never heard of Blue Sky.
I have heard of Blue Sky. JD Vance got booted off of it like immediately, and then they reinstated it after he called him out for not supporting free speech.
Right.
And so
no, yeah, I remember that.
yeah, that's Blue Sky. Interesting. So I guess it has an audience. So if I made a Blue Sky account and I just started posting all these crazy videos, I wonder if, I don't know. I doubt anyone would actually pay attention, but I'm kind of curious. Maybe we should do a Blue Sky account. That'd be kind of interesting. That might be another avenue for posting our shorts.
I don't want to be with these people.
What do you mean, these people? Look, it's not all of them, I'm sure.
I don't want to be paired up to JD Vance.
Dude, to think I could have followed him and he might have followed back on the early days of Blue Sky.
True, because you've been like, I'm a supporter.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, that's Caleb. Caleb says I can stay.
Speaking of which, I think he hosted Charlie Kirk's show today, JD Vance.
Okay.
So I need to watch that because I love JD Vance.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I'm ain't gonna lie, that Manhunt novel actually doesn't sound like the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Testosterone zombies?
It's at least an interesting concept. Now, would I've read it? No. A trans woman writing about testosterone
That doesn't sound
zombies.
like a fanfic at all.
Oh, it definitely does. But I will give her points for creativity. That's actually somewhat creative. Okay. So,
I think that was just what Venom was, right?
No. Venom?
Bane, I mean.
Bane. What's that called? What's that stuff they
It's
pump?
Venom.
I don't think, is it just called Venom?
Yeah.
Or is it just.
It's a green sludge. Yeah, it's Venom.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Oh, it's just like literally the exact same thing, but whatever.
But zombies.
Okay.
You think that the zombies are running with weights and they're like, ching, ching, ching,
Kind of.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. That's what, hey, all right. It surprised me. Okay. Doesn't matter because, this author is screwed now. Although the author has since deactivated Blue Sky account, screenshots of her posts began circulating on social media after the right-wing figure was shot and killed while hosting an event at Utah Valley on Wednesday. Sorry. Thoughts and prayers, you Nazi B-word, she wrote in one post per The Hollywood Reporter. Hope the bullet's okay after touching Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, I saw that.
Man.
I didn't know she wrote that, but yeah, I saw that comment.
Man, that's just that's awful. That's a rough one. I mean, that's basically what was written on the bullet casings, Kirk, who served as executive director of the right-wing group Turning Point USA, was known for anti-trans stances, which include using slurs. I don't buy that. Advocating for physical and political violence against. No, that's not true. Well, this website's pretty biased. But let's see. The Wrap reports that following Philippa Martin's post, DC Comics issued a notice informing retailers that they were canceling orders of Red Hood 2 and Red Hood 3 and would credit them for copies of Red Hook 1. Red Hood. They typo. Red Hood 1.
Blue Hood now.
Yeah, which hit shelves on Wednesday. At DC Comics, we place the highest value on our creators and community and affirm the right to peaceful individual expression of personal viewpoints. A spokesperson for DC said in a Thursday statement per CNN. Posts or public comments that can be viewed as promoting hostility or violence are inconsistent with DC's standards of conduct. I agree 100%. I'm really glad that these people aren't going away with no consequences. Like it's very at best, if I'm trying to justify it, it's at best unprofessional.
Yeah.
Setting aside my thoughts of like disgust, shock, awe, sadness at hearing stuff like that. I'm very glad that DC, even though they're not my favorite line of comic books, and I hate their films for the most part up until recently.
Right.
I respect the professionalism and we don't want that here. We don't promote violence. We don't promote all that stuff. And I'm just glad. For some reason in this generation, people think that, if I just say, I can get online and just say exactly what I want. And they can. However, there's still consequences.
When they're abusing their platform that a corporation gave them, then like, yeah, that's because like that's the reason it got traction, and she knew that.
Oh,
because I'm with DC or I'm with a big corpo, I can say what I want, and there's gonna be guaranteed protection there. It's like,
no, and I don't know. I'm just glad DC didn't put up with it, play ball with it. I hope these other gaming companies will like have some consequences. Like, is it Ghosts of Yotai?
Yeah. So Sucker Punch, that's their company. Bungie and Square Enix. There was a one of their translators for their Japanese games like said something crazy, and then like Sucker Punch had a similar situation as well as
it was one of their concept artists, I think, or something like that. So. All right, so this was the first and one of the bigger ones, Matthew Dowd for MSNBC. I think I sent you this one. I don't know if you read it or not, but MSNBC fired its senior political analyst, Matthew Dowd, after he suggested on air that the slain conservative activist Charlie Kirk own radical rhetoric may have contributed to the shooting that killed him. Did you watch this video? Okay. So he's the one, you might have heard this. He's the one that said, "Oh, it was, it could have been one of his fans just firing a gun up in the air." And if you've seen the video,
my gosh,
bullets that get shot in the air come straight down. They don't go straight for a dude's neck.
It's just like, that's so stupid.
The guy wasn't 5 seconds shot before Matthew Dowd was like, "Oh, this could have just been one of his fans that did it." Just idiot Trump supporters. He didn't say that, but that's what he's implying. He's implying that, it's just probably just dumb people who were just celebrating with guns in the air. But that's not all he said. During his appearance on Katie Tur Reports, Dowd suggested that Kirk's rhetoric may have contributed to the violence that claimed his life. Let's see here. Hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions, Dowd said, adding, "You can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts you have and then saying these awful words and then not expect awful actions to take place." Now, in all fairness, this wasn't the worst thing I saw, online. Like, I've seen way worse people. Now, he's just saying, well, if he sowed hate, so he's just getting what he got back to him, is essentially what he's saying. And he's saying it shouldn't be a surprise. Well, like hours after the fact, MSNBC fired him.
Right.
And they were like, "We apologize for his statements." And as Cutler wrote, "There is no place for violence in America, political or otherwise." The network almost immediately severed ties with Dowd, with Deadline reporting that MSNBC had cut its relationship with the analyst, citing fervor over remarks he made in the aftermath of the shooting. They did not hesitate at all.
Right.
Now, he did come back later on Blue Sky. Again, Blue Sky is coming up again. That's it might be a serious contender.
How about that?
"My thoughts and prayers are with the family and friends of Charlie Kirk." On an earlier appearance on MSNBC, I was asked a question on the environment we are in. "I apologize for my tone and words. Let me be clear. I in no way intended for my comments to blame Kirk for this horrendous attack. Let us all come together and condemn violence of any kind." Now, that's a big one because he's a senior analyst.
Was.
Yeah. Gone.
Yeah.
Nice one. I like what you did there. No, that one to me was like, they're not playing around. Like I said, I don't even think he said like that bad. It was like, yes, was it like not great? Did I like it? No. But like honestly, like that was pretty tame compared to the stuff I kind of saw like
you think people
hours
are just
later.
Scared of retaliation?
Like
physical retaliation now? That's why companies are playing it safer?
No, I don't think so. I think it's always been, and that was the whole point of episode 8. Like, it's always been an environment where if you're going to go crazy and say stuff that's unprofessional or makes the company look bad, they're going to fire you. I mean, we've seen it in movies. We've seen it in real life. We've seen it in, coworkers, school, fellow students. Like, I've heard stories of people that lose scholarships, people that lose their admission to a college. Like, I've seen a lot of, consequences for that type of stuff. So I don't know. No, I don't think it's because they're afraid of retaliation. Well, in a way, I think it does make a news station look bad. MSNBC is already under fire for, trying to make Kamala look better. I might be getting them mixed up, but I think Now, who does 60 Minutes? That's not MSNBC.
Dateline, 60 Minutes. That's
Is it?
I think it's NBC, right? Or is it CNN?
It's not CNN.
I thought it was NBC.
Let me look that up because they're already under. They already had to settle. Let me see here. Who owns MSNBC? I'm sorry. Is 60 Minutes? It's CBS. Mm-hmm. Okay, never mind. Not owned by Paramount. They already look bad for trying to help Kamala and make her look better in the public, as make her look more coherent than she ended up being. So they're already trying to earn the trust back with the people, and Matthew Dowd definitely did not help with that. It's not helping public perception.
Maybe that was like last straw, kind of. I mean, we don't know what was happening in the office. Maybe there was repeated behavior, like behind closed doors, and then just to let that open. Maybe
I don't know, because like the way the other companies are reacting, firing people, like DC, like I would say. I don't know. It could have just been a one shot, you're out type of thing. Like, I mean, it could have been repeated offenses, but I mean, it could.
I just think of the kind of the people that are being fired. Like to say, I mean, like again, I agree with you. I don't think what he said was like. I think it was just stupid. I don't think it was like. It was offensive, I guess, in some capacity, but I'm not offended by it, and because it was just a dumb comment.
Yeah.
What what's her name said from DC, that was offensive.
Gretchen. Oh yeah.
But it's like. That kind of person, who like just says stuff like that, like they're just that way in real life as well. It probably is like every day. So it's like I don't know if they were just like.
I can't imagine the dinner tables at some of these people's houses. Like, I can't.
Nightmarish.
I mean, I don't always even love my own dinner table, and it's pretty conservative. But anyway, so what's interesting about this one is Matthew Dowd, like a couple days ago, tried to say that, they just caved under pressure to fire me. And I was like, and MSNBC responded back with like, no, we were pretty adamant that you were fired before we even got backlash for it.
Right.
And so I thought that was pretty interesting. They said, no, we made the decision to fire you hours after the fact. It had nothing to do with public pressure. Like public pressure wasn't even mounting before we decided to fire you. So I was like, that was funny. He was just like, they caved under pressure. And it's like, no, we're pretty set on getting you out of here, buddy. Washington Post columnist, this by Politico, says she was fired for social media posts after Kirk was killed. Let's see what she wrote. In a lengthy Substack post. Substack, are you familiar? I know what it is.
Substack?
Yeah. It's another it's another social media platform.
No.
I think it's paid, but I'm not quite sure. But writing in a lengthy, it's a thing that Casey Anthony hopped on.
Okay.
You got to subscribe to it though if you want to watch her unedited original thoughts that you just can't wait to get on. Oh yeah, I'm subscribed. All right. Karen Attiah wrote on a lengthy Substack post.
Karen.
Yep. She said she was dismissed over her post on Blue Sky that she says were deemed to be unacceptable. Blue Sky again. We have to do Blue Sky, bro. It's an untapped market right now. Like, imagine if we were posting before TikTok is what it is now. Like, how famous we probably would have gotten. All right, Blue Sky it is. It's also probably super susceptible to people watching what I say and trying to turn it on me. They rushed to fire me without even a conversation, she wrote. This was not only a hasty overreach, but a violation of the very standards of journalistic fairness and rigor the Post claims to uphold. Let's see, what did she say? I don't think she even says what she said. A spokesperson for the Washington Post declined to comment on personnel matters, and they gave a generic, reasonable people question their editorial independence, nor make reasonable people question the Post's ability to cover issues fairly. They're saying that her comments violated that it violates our way of trying to cover stuff fairly. Let's see. Let's see. I made clear that not performing over-the-top grief for white men who espouse violence was not the same as endorsing violence against them. I don't know. She said that she's mad that she didn't have a conversation with them. I understand that perspective. I think they should have entertained a conversation with her, but as long as the bottom line stays the same of like, by the way, at the end of this conversation that you want to have, you're fired.
You think MSNBC should have done the same thing?
No. Oh, I'm sure they talked with him for a long time after.
Yeah.
I'm sure it wasn't just that, like I said, it took hours. They talked to him. And he, like I said, senior analyst, like they had to give him some kind of notice. I've been in that position where you just get fired like overnight within an hour and you don't get to explain yourself. You don't get to kind of talk about what happened. But it is what it is because they don't care. And in this instance, I'm glad they took that step. I do think people are worth a conversation at the very least, if you want to like, but as long as the bottom line stays the same of like, hey, just know you're fired, but we'll have that conversation. This is why. However, she seems like the type of person who they probably did sit her down and talk to her, but they, you know, like I said, the bottom line is you're still gone. We'll explain to you why, but you're gone. She's like, oh, they wouldn't even listen. You know, and I'd peg her as that type of person. I don't know, but what do you think? Worth the conversation or get rid of him?
Trying to think if she was on the other foot.
Yeah.
As far as like political views, how I'd feel about it. I'm a lot less tolerable to people being stupid, especially in public. So, me personally, I don't think it's an overreaction. But if I was in that position, yeah, I'd probably want an opportunity to kind of redeem myself, or like if that's even what they were going for. But like I said before, you know, I stand by like they're not going to. A lot of these people are not going to admit they were wrong, or you know what they said was wrong. Or power to them, I suppose. But
Sure.
there's consequences. Why should I? I still don't agree with people who abuse the platform that they are given.
Here's one that's near and dear to me: Stephen King. A legend in the horror genre, written many books, many adaptations of movies from his books, and he hates all of them except for like the ones that he was directly involved in. But Stephen King, very famous guy. For some reason, okay. Here's the thing with misinformation: it's like Charlie Kirk was killed because he's famous for all this hate speech, for advocating to violence against all these other different groups that are just not white people. And none of that's true. And it's like you said earlier, they cherry pick these out of context statements he's made. And that's always my question when I talk to people. It's only been a week, but unfortunately I've had this conversation with a couple of people. And I'll ask, what do you know, well, he spewed a lot of hateful stuff. And I'm like, okay, like what? And they can't ever name anything. And then, of course, you get an article like this where it's like, well, he still did this and this. And I'm like, okay, well, where? Like, because I know he did not say open fire on this community. Like, but that's what they'll say he said. And it's insane. And that's why he was killed, is because he's known amongst that community of people that want to see him die, that he's, you know, advocating for all these different racial and minority groups to be executed, to be assaulted, to be all this other stuff. That's just not true. So here comes in Stephen King, famous author. He's good at writing books, but I guess he's not good at reading and fact checking and doing his own research. But let's see. I want to find that original post. It's very important. This is an important lesson here. If I can find it. Oh my God, that's stupid. Okay. Essentially, Stephen King got online and said that Kirk advocated stoning gays to death. Just saying. That was in the whole tweet, but unfortunately I can't really pull it up right now.
Yeah. Well, how'd I known that?
Yeah, I know. So, yeah, he says, well, he advocated stoning gays to death, just saying, right? And then, of course, so the first thing, which was really cool, is a bunch of major UK publications. I will say a bunch. I know one for sure did. A major UK publication severed ties with him. Doesn't really mean a lot for Stephen King's books. Like they're always gonna be on bookshelves. He's made his money. Like he'll be fine. But I won't say he didn't feel it, because he felt the need to go in and say, I was wrong and I apologize. So he comes back to X and he tweets out, I was wrong and I apologize. I have deleted the post. Somebody screenshot something So they screenshotted a tweet by Charlie Kirk that read, remember, the same guy who advocated for stoning gays, right? Supposedly. He said, I believe in marriage is one man, one woman. Also, gay people should be welcomed in the conservative movement. As Christians, we are called to love everyone. I will always stand against people who wish to establish their own personal values as a reason to kick others out of our movement. And that's straight off of Charlie Kirk's Twitter. So somebody screenshotted that and said, I'd say Stephen King should be ashamed of himself, but what's the point? And they put that screenshot where Charlie Kirk did not say stone gays. He said we should welcome him in the movement. So then Stephen King, I was wrong and I apologize. I've deleted the post.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know. And then he said, I apologize for saying Charlie Kirk advocated stoning gays. What he actually demonstrated was how some people cherry pick biblical passages. I mean, is he wrong about that? Probably not. But again, it's not even a week that the guy's been dead.
Right.
And he's sitting here, well, you know, he advocated stoning gays. Oh, well, actually, I meant he cherry picks biblical passages. Like, dude, the guy just died. You know, why? And it's like you said, he knows he has an audience, so he's trying to rally all these people around false information.
Yeah, and then that's not even like really taking responsibility. It's just like saying, "Oh, sorry. I don't know why I blatantly lied. I just did, but goodbye."
Yeah,
like,
yeah. So he lost like some major publishing. Thank you. Publishing deals. He lost some publishing deals. Said thank you, even though I did it to myself. Thank you, brain. He lost like a major publishing deal, but I imagine a bunch of other ones were like, ooh, we got to get him off of our shelves. So he had to have felt it. Like he may not act like it, but he felt it enough to where he had to be like, I'm sorry. You know, heartfelt apology, probably not, but at the very least, you know, we got something. And it's very embarrassing for him. I'll give him that. Like, yes, he at least embarrassed himself, lost money, and had to publicly delete something and apologize. So, really good. I don't know. Some people will be like, well, a man who goes back and corrects his mistakes is worth honoring and worth blah, 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 blah. I mean, he only did it because he lost money, not because he actually felt bad. This one I'm excited about as well. Haley Creedle, 911 dispatcher. Okay. You actually expressed interest in dispatching, which is interesting. Here's the thing. Like, the person taking the 911 call, you're supposed to be able to trust.
Right.
So imagine Charlie Kirk gets shot. I mean, you don't have to imagine it. You saw it. And somebody calls 911, and this lady picks up. And she's just like, oh, good. Hangs up. That's not what she did. But just imagine, like, that's what she's thinking. Imagine you get shot, and the person that you call for help is like, ooh, I hope the bullet wasn't hurt. You know? And it's like, it's insane. So Haley Creedle, 911 dispatcher. I forget where. Let's see. Let's see if I can find where in this article right here. Far-right commentator Laura Bloomer exposed a 911 emergency dispatcher for glorifying the close Trump ally's death. Nashville DEC, Department of Communications. So Nashville 911 dispatcher. She posted a cartoon or crudely made shirt of Charlie Kirk with his eyes rolling back and blood squirting out of his neck. Captioned, debate this.
That is...
Debate this.
Wow. That is wow. That might be the worst thing so far.
You mean it? You think
so? Yeah. That's pretty freaking bad.
Yeah. I mean, you see her picture and you're like, wow, I'm not surprised at all. You know? And it's a shame that someone who's supposed to protect and serve, like, dispatch is, in a way, not quite, it's law enforcement. It's not police, but it's law enforcement. You expect when you dial 911 that the person on the other line would have some decency to get you help as quick as possible.
That's like why'd you get into it? You know, to protect, to preserve life, you know, like that's like a doctor saying that, you know, or a paramedic. Like that's some that's another level of sick.
Have you seen any of these TikTokers that are like, "Oh my god"?
No, I don't watch
Okay,
TikTok.
well that's good. Okay, I'm proud of you. But there's some who are doing exactly this, right? And they're like, "Ha, he got what he deserved. Nazi B word. Debate this." And then when they start getting death threats, or their mom got death threats, and I'm like, look, not cool. I don't think anyone deserves death threats. It's bad juju no matter what. But their reaction to it is, how dare you give me death threats? How dare you death threat my mother? And it's like the hypocrisy here. So it's okay to actually kill someone, but when it's on you and it's a threat, not even an actual act, it's like, oh, I can't believe people are like this. Oh my God. Oh, you know, it's insane. The hypocrisy, the warped thinking. I don't get it, you know?
Yeah.
But it's real. It's a real delusion. You know, like people talk about Trump derangement syndrome. I'm starting to believe it's a real disease. Like, I imagine the DSM-5 is updated to have Trump derangement syndrome in it. You know?
Yeah, jury's out, but not for long.
Nope. So she's placed on leave for that, and I don't think she's fired yet. But there's just no way. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like you're gone. This is her work ID picture, I think. She's smiling. There's no way. It's not a mugshot, but they wouldn't arrest her for that. Joe Burrow's charity fires a board member over insensitive comments about the death of Charlie Kirk. Ted Berry, an Ohio judge, was removed from his position after allegedly writing several Facebook posts on the Utah shooting that left the conservative commentator dead on Wednesday, according to Fox 19 in Cincinnati. So this guy's a judge on his own time, but Joe Burrow Foundation, he's on the board. They kicked him off immediately. Yeah. I don't think you can't really get fired from being a judge because it's an elected position. Just depends, but something like that, you're not going to get fired. However, if you run for election again, you're probably not going to win. So
you can't get voted out.
It's under very specific circumstances, but it's not going to be the overnight you're fired like everything else is. It has to be a process.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Obviously, Joe Burrow Foundation was founded on belief that everybody has a responsibility to do good. We have terminated an advisory board member that made inappropriate remarks in light of recent events. They are no longer associated with the foundation. Their comments do not reflect our values or our mission. We are committed to accountability and respect for all. In the first series of comments, Berry wrote, "Rest in hatred and division instead of rest in peace," on a post honoring Kirk, the Cincinnati Enquirer reported. Berry responded to another Facebook user that Kirk spewed hate and division. How's he feel about gun violence and gun control in hell now? Berry reportedly said in another post. I mean, how do you justify this?
A judge? Wow.
Yeah. I don't know what kind of judge. It could be family law. It could be civil.
Doesn't matter. Just
municipal. Yeah.
You're held at such high standard for decency.
Impartiality.
Yeah.
You want a fair judge who's going to look at both sides, but it sounds like his mind's already made up before he even takes the stand. This is on his off day. This isn't in a day when he's trying to be a decent judge, you know?
Dude, I'm just like, think about, Charlie's kids when they get old enough and they're surfing the web and they just see like illustrations of their dad, dead. And like quotes like this, and messages like, I can't understand it. Yeah. I'm appreciative of myself that I still have some sensitivity to some things because like I think there's a huge wave of desensitivity across the board right now. Still makes me feel sick, so I guess I'm still human. But yeah, dude, that is next
depraved
level. Yeah,
it's disgusting. So I don't know who elected this dude, but I'm glad.
Where was he again?
Ohio.
Okay, really?
Let me see here. Yep, an Ohio judge removed from his position. Now, he's still a judge, but let's see how he does at the midterms. All right. Workers are getting fired, placed on leave over Charlie Kirk posts. I want a number. I want to know how many people have gotten fired for this. because it's a big number. It's starting to rival how many posts you saw celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. Now the fired count is going way up, so it's exciting. Let's see. Now here, you mentioned this. Within 24 hours of Charlie Kirk's killing, an assistant dean at a Tennessee college, a communications staffer from an NFL team, a next-door employee in Milwaukee, and the co-owner of a Cincinnati barbecue restaurant were fired after posting about it. These are high positions.
Yeah.
NFL, a dean, assistant dean. I don't know what next door is. Do you know what next door is?
No.
Okay. Oh, that's I think that's like a neighbor thing where you can interact with other neighbors.
Mm.
And
right.
Yeah. And co-owner of a Cincinnati barbecue restaurant. Like, these are big people. The MSNBC guy, head writer at DC over one what could be considered a major comic series. Like, I really hope James Gunn stays off of Blue Sky. Apparently, that's a place to get snitched on.
You're so right.
Yeah, like,
because we all know
James Gunn. Please listen to me. I love your stuff.
Just don't talk.
Don't do this. Stay off. They will fire you so fast.
Yeah.
You thought Disney fired you quick over nothing? My God, please stay off of Blue Sky. Stay off of X. Just don't do it. I'm begging you. We need more Superman.
Think about it, Superman is an alien.
Yeah. You know who can hop on though, and I wouldn't be upset, is Cracker Barrel lady. Just you go.
Oh, you know who I want?
You go, girl.
I want J.K. Rowling because she has no shame.
Yeah, but I don't want her to be like that. I want her to make it. Apparently, her other series are okay. I want her to continue to be good. She's already openly.
No, I think she's uncancelable at this point.
I mean, she's just.
Like, I don't think she's getting any lower.
Yeah.
Not that she's super low right now, but like, there's nothing. The things she says on such a public platform, they're not getting to her. People are not getting to her.
No.
So I'm just like, just go ham wild at this point. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
It's entertaining, that's for sure.
When do you think Tenacious D's coming back? By the way, you remember?
Probably never.
Like Kyle Gass, I think, or Glass. I can't remember. Yeah, we talked about it. They canceled that whole tour, but
that was such a awkward step down. I don't know if they're ever coming back.
Yeah,
unless it's like, well, he was already really old, so I'm like, I don't know if like 10 years from now they have a comeback tour
and they wheel themselves out.
Yeah.
There's no camera here. I can't act that out.
Don't miss, and then he just strangles him.
Don't miss next time. Like, dude, Trump's been not president for a very long time. Yeah. I'm really curious to see what the climate will be once Trump's out of office.
Mm-hmm.
Things got like this when he got in, And with him gone, I'm curious how much the craziness will die down.
If J.D. Vance gets elected.
But he's not like Trump, though. He's very... I
think people hate him just as much.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I don't.
I think they would. I think, honestly, because, like, he's definitely, like, the Trump protege. So people could kind of see that as like the legacy, and he's also younger, like, so he can last longer.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
he can only do 8 years. You can't last that long in office.
Do I have a story for you? I'm not supposed to be telling you any of this, but I have it on good authority. I know I said this for the last 3 terms, but this is going to be the term where they eliminate
the 2-term
limitation.
There's no way. You can't.
This is going to be the one.
It takes so much to overturn
Trump is going to take
an amendment.
He'd take his life essence. You ever seen Star Wars with the Palpatine and the...
He's dissolved it.
He's going to take his life essence and he put it into a clone, and that clone is J.D. Vance. He's the first of many to come.
Vance, your parents, they were nobody, but your grandparents were Donald Trump.
Somehow Donald Trump returned.
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's not as it would be harder. It would be harder to repeal the First Amendment.
No, I think it's just funny how it's every single time they're like, "This is the one."
Yeah,
he's gonna see what he said. He made a joke about it. It means it's real.
Yeah, I know. He has y'all by the balls,
rent free in your head.
He jokes and you just like, oh my God, we got to come up with all this legislation and blah. And it's like he's not gonna. He would not waste 4 years fighting an amendment that he's not going to win.
Right.
He's won some hard battles before, I will say, but this is too like he can't. He can't actually overturn the Constitution. You know that, right? It's just not going to happen. So it trips me out, man. And he knows it. He knows that he can say something like that. And it's already been a year. And that's all they're going to talk about is like, oh my God, he's going to run a third time. And he's just wasted a year of their time making jokes and them taking it seriously.
Yeah.
So it's hilarious. I do think the crazy rhetoric and stuff will die down after he's out.
I wonder if they're going to, when they remember his term, if they're going to remember this week as like, oh, because he was president, this is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Right now they're celebrating it, but like later on they're going to use that like against the Republican Party, like, oh, because these, you know, like these ideals, you know, and like their pushing of their agenda, like that's why Charlie lost.
We'll
his
see.
life. I bet you that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, we'll see, dude, because a lot of people are, even more people now are leaving the left than ever.
Yeah.
Even if they don't go Republican, they're like, I can't vote Democrat. I can't get with these people that are celebrating this. I'm kind of wondering how it's going to affect the midterms. The midterms are still a while away, another solid year. But I'm kind of curious if this happened a year later, how bad the midterm turnout would be. Because people are going to forget this.
Right.
It's sad what happened to him, but no one's going to remember this in a couple of years. Like now, because it's next to 9/11, that'll prop it up a little bit more to relevancy. We'll have 2 days of the flag at half mast probably for the next 8 years or so. 12 if Vance gets 2 terms. But it's going to take the Democratic Party a long time.
I actually am pretty confident. I mean, again, depends on who they're going to pick. But at this point, I think Vance is like destined
Guaranteed.
to just win.
Yeah.
Like not guaranteed, but like
pretty much.
Yeah, I think enough people, if you're right, have had enough. Like,
yeah.
Yep.
Because like the people that celebrate, like that's a level of despicableness that the general public can't get behind. Even if you're Democrat, you're like, man, like
I know some crazy left people, radical and right people, but like radical left people who can't get behind
murder.
Yeah. Nope.
There's no other way to frame it.
Nope.
It's insane. But yeah, no, I think Democratic Party is gonna be at a new low for a long time. The leftover Democrats are better off forming a different party and
something in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a middle party would be kind of cool. I'd be down for that.
Yeah, I could probably vote for that.
Yeah.
So the next election, we should actually place bets. I should have bet on Trump winning. I would have given him 5 swing states.
Yeah.
Out of 7, I wouldn't have predicted all 7, but I would have predicted at least 5 of them.
Right.
Vance, I'm with you. It's like it's not guaranteed, but I'm pretty confident.
Yeah. There's no promising. I mean, again, quite a ways to go, but there's just no promising prospects on the left right now when it comes to politicians that can appeal majority of America at this point. You know, like that's already hard enough. But yeah.
Who do you think the nominee will be on their end?
Who's that guy from New York? The mayor.
Oh, stop.
I think they're gonna make
Mamdani.
I think they're gonna make a push for him, honestly.
Oh man, good luck.
Yeah, I know.
Bernie Sanders couldn't gain traction.
I think that's what it's gonna become. Yeah. I don't think he's actually gonna get anywhere, but like it's probably gonna be he's gonna be like the next Bernie, where it's like there's like this left and then there's like this left, you know.
Have you seen that video where he couldn't lift like a bar, like a weight?
Poor Bernie.
Yeah. Not Bernie, the Mamdani.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. So they were doing like a get wellness challenge, and it was like the lightest bar you've ever seen, like maybe 1 plate on each side, and the spotter was doing all the work. He's like, give me 4.
What if he got up and he said, you see, if we all lift the bar together, we get somewhere.
Yeah, I can get behind that. No, literally behind it, so I can leave. I think it's gonna be Gavin Newsom.
Okay.
I think he's gonna be going up against Vance, and Vance, I think, will hopefully destroy him. But he's kind of popular.
God, Vance is so vicious. He's gonna have a mean fight.
I do not feel good for whoever goes against Vance, because it's gonna be a bloodbath.
Yeah.
I thought he just. You might disagree. I thought he destroyed. Tim Walz.
100%. Tim Walz had nothing. And then like Vance also has the young Republican vote, so it's like I don't know. There's just so much on his side.
He could win better than Trump did this past time
by a long shot.
Yeah,
I think it was iffy. And again, we've said it before. Like we think one of the only reasons that Trump lost is because they had no ammo on their side anymore. You know, because they had unfortunately had to deal with their last president. So it was like
Yep.
It was rough.
It was. It's an interesting time to be into politics. I never thought I would watch Fox News.
I do not.
Yeah.
Still don't. But I may catch a couple like shorts.
Yeah.
But like
I'll watch their podcast format stuff.
okay.
I don't watch breaking news. We have new insight into the assassination, and then they put up Kash Patel. I'm like, oh.
I like Sky News, but they're not
Kash
like
Patel.
Sky News isn't like great for information. They're just like a good non-biased source, and they're funny.
Oh, they're very biased, but I love it.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Very
I felt
right-leaning.
I felt like they were pretty fair that last election, in critiquing like Biden and everything and Kamala. But
Yeah.
who else? I mean, like occasionally I'll watch Ben Shapiro, but then like Ben Shapiro comes out and he's one of the ones who's like, oh, the shooter was friends with a tranny, so he was very left. I'm just like, what does that matter?
Yeah, I know.
So it's like unfortunately I don't really have like a dedicated like go-to person anymore when it comes to like politics. That's not crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Tom McDonald maybe.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, you don't know? He's the rapper,
Oh,
the conservative rapper.
nice.
You never heard of Tom McDonald?
Never.
Actually, you should look him up. I don't think you'll like his music. I don't really think you'll like him, but
Right. Probably not.
he's entertaining. Yeah. Fun time to live.
I had another thought, and it was somewhat related, but it was another question I had. Let's see, JD Vance, Tim Waltz. Oh, what was it? Man, not Charlie Kirk. I think we're done with that. Oh, well, I'll remember after the episode. Be like, we gotta hook these back up. But anyway, I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting time. I think it'll be Vance versus Newsom. I think that's what it's gonna be. So we'll see. Kamala said she's not running. Did you watch her thing with Colbert where she talked about, I don't want to run again? I think I just don't think she enjoyed it. I think she hated being the nominee.
Probably.
Yeah. I think and it was so embarrassing that loss, bro. It was such a big dip, you know?
It's like the Chiefs game.
Yeah. They're still paying back her campaign. Did you see that?
Really?
Yeah. Like it is September of the following year. 2 more months will be a year after the election, and she can't pay her debt off.
Oof.
Yeah.
Dude, I still feel bad for her loyalist supporters that were left in the cold, abandoned. I'm like, I still feel for them.
Well, Hillary did the same thing.
Yeah.
Apparently. I didn't know this, but
really?
You start to go back and you start looking at other people and you're like, wow, they're all scumbags.
They're very tired.
I wonder what Trump would have done if he actually was going to lose again.
I still think I think I said it then. I'll say it now. I still think he would have made an appearance.
Gas prices are going down. Did you see that?
I saw.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be just because it's closer to winter, but yeah, I saw
That's
that.
part of it, but it's below $3. I'm gonna take a video. So I took a video 4 years ago, back when the Biden stickers. I did that. We're on the pumps, and November 16th, gas was $3 and something cents.
Yeah.
And I was like, 4 more years or 3 more years of this.
Average right now I've seen like somewhere between. It's weird. I always have to get gas when it's high, but it's like usually between $3 and $2.80. And then like I saw like 2 days ago, I think it was like $2.30. I was like, whoa, let's freaking go.
Let's go. I know. It didn't take him long.
Yeah.
Open Keystone back up.
Yeah.
We got this, boys. It's a long episode, guys, but it is what it is. We're cooking now with gas.
What time are we at?
An hour and 9 minutes. That's as long as our first episode.
Nice.
That's probably where I'll cut it down today, guys. That's probably a good stopping point. Plus, we got to get out of here in like 30 minutes. So we'll see y'all next time, guys. I hope y'all made it this far.
Sorry, it wasn't super fun, but we had tried to make it a little entertaining at the end.
Just a little bit, and then we
next
got cooking
episode.
Again. No politics.
Yeah, we're gonna go back to the basics.
Unless we might have a guest next week. We'll see.
True.
I hope she doesn't want to talk politics, but if she does, I'm down. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm down.
We'll see. And then if she's really cool, maybe she'll come back on another time. I don't know.
We'll have a voting process together.
We'll see. We'll democratically vote.
Oh my god, we spent an hour talking about
being careful. We'll see y'all next time, guys.